But
oh yeah, there's exes and like actually
exes.
how many times you've been in love.
Oh, what's your longest relationship?
Yeah.
Your longest relationship.
Yeah.
So for me, that's always been kind of an easy one because I actually ended up getting into game after I got out of a long relationship. So I met a girl starting in high school, and we dated all through high school and all through university and after university too. And so my longest relationship, even still to this day, is 8 years. And so it's really easy for me to answer that question because I'm like, yeah, it's 8 years. High school, sweetheart, university, and after.
The question is though, what happens if you haven't had a long relationship?
Right.
So like maybe your longest relationship has been what, 3 weeks or 2 months.
Are you trying to tell us something here, Rich?
But you have to understand how this affects a girl's mind as well, because I've had it multiple times. When I was younger, all through my 20s, my longest relationship was 2 months. I never lasted past 3 months. I never lasted past that until I was fucking 29.
Yeah.
So when girls ask me this question, I'd answer sincerely, like, yeah, it was 3 months, and they'd be shocked. Like, they're like, wow, only 3 months?
Yeah.
And so this is not, unfortunately, it depends if you want to be sincere or not.
Well,
ultimately.
I mean, okay, so yes, I get your point, but also your answer to this question will put you into one of 2 categories.
Exactly.
Which is the fuckboy category or the provider category.
Yeah.
And depending on what it is you want, neither is necessarily preferable.
Exactly. I mean, if it was with a girl I just want to fuck, I'd happily tell her, 3 months or a few weeks, and she'd laugh and it'd be hilarious. But if it's a girl who's like, you really like, oh wow.
Or you could even just answer, I don't count in terms of time, I count in terms of bangs.
Yeah.
How many times did we bang? Right? Like, you could just be silly about it.
But to be honest, I don't think it really matters too much what you apply, honestly, because girls, even if they're like shocked by how short amount of time you've had a relationship, they'll be like, I could be the one to change him.
Yeah.
I'm going to be one to get... So I don't think there's too much, but I think it's more of a problem on the other side, where, well, it's like you ask her.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'll get slightly put off if I find out that she's just broken up with her ex, who was like 6 years, or like all her relationships are really long. Because then I know, okay,
really?
no.
Does that put you off?
Well, it puts me off if like I want to keep her as a fuck buddy, or I don't want anything real.
Because to me, I'm like, whenever I hear that, I'm like, wait, I am the rebound? Fuck yeah!
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like, but I mean, like, I wouldn't want to see her too often because I'd worry she'd get too serious.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah, generally I think if you find out she's been in longer relationships, then that's good because it means she hasn't had as many dicks. You understand?
Yeah.
So maybe she hasn't waded through hundreds of dicks to see you, so she's not such a slut, right?
Yeah.
But if she also answers like, oh, I've been single for the last 3 years or something, or yeah, my longest relationship was 2 years or 1 year or whatever, then
I haven't been in a relationship in a while. I've been traveling and finding myself.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, okay, cool. So you've been riding the cop carousel.
Yeah, that's an immediate
like
a sign, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. How long have you been single?
How long have? Ooh. So this can actually be a fun little conversation trigger, where you're like, so how long have you been single? Or wait, are you even single? Yeah. Right? Like, and you can even play with that a little bit, because now that, don't ask that at the start of your conversation. Ask that once it's already obvious that she's interested in you. Don't ever ask a girl if she's single until she has already shown strong interest in you. Like, if she's, like this, and then you can be like, well, now hang on a minute, girl. What are you doing? Are you a troublemaker? Right? Yeah. You can tease her with that, but never ask a girl if she's single.
In the beginning.
No. Never go up to a girl and be like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Like, oh God. Fuck, God. Oh, God.
They'll immediately say yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No,
boys, don't ever do that. This, total side note, but don't ever ask a girl if she's single. Yeah. You go up, you show her what you've got, you shoot your shot, and then let her decide if she's single or not. Because even if she's not, she might be more interested in you than whatever boy she's got waiting back at home for her.
Yeah.
So don't ever be afraid to shoot your shot. don't ever ask your girl if she's single. Yeah, I mean, like, you can play with it a bit, and you could say something like that. You know, you could even tease her. So how long is your longest relationship? Wait, can I guess? Like 4 hours, 3 hours?
yeah. And also, like, with the how long have you been single thing, it's not shouldn't ask this question. More with this, it's like you should ask it to get a better picture about who she is. What, as we said, like what she's been through recently. Has she been single for a few years? Is it just a few months? How has she enjoyed being single? The way you can pry at this is to find out, all right, so she's enjoying it, she's been single for a while, and she's probably waded through quite a few dicks, and probably I'm not the only one. At least you can use these questions to kind of piece together who you're dealing with. So it is insightful, and then depending on what you want at the time, you can choose, do I want to date this girl, or do I just want to bang her?
Yeah. Well, so another consideration to have on that one is if you're in a more conservative culture, like we're out here in Korea, and there's a girl that I've been bringing around recently. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And she's been single for like a year and a half, but she's also never had a one-night stand, ever.
Wow.
And here's the thing is, I actually believe her, right? Because every time that we brought her around, she doesn't go out, she doesn't really talk to people, she doesn't do stuff, she just hangs around and she has a good time, but she doesn't go out and hook up at all. And so the length of time that they are single doesn't necessarily tell you who you're dealing with. Like if they've been single for a long time, but you know, if they have like lots of piercings and purple hair or weird shit, then you know that means that they're sucking lots of dick. But if they're on a more conservative bend, then it's very possible that she has been just sex starved for however long.
Yeah, so, and it also depends massively on how you met her.
Yeah.
If you met her on Tinder, then obviously, no matter what she says, if she says, yeah, I've been single, I haven't dated much, you just can't believe it. But if you met her in the day on the street, then yes, you can. It's more congruent with what she said. If she says, yeah, I've been single but I haven't really been dating much, that makes more sense. You know, you got to evaluate it based on how you met her. Did you meet her in a bar or in a nightclub? Was she wasted? Was she smoking? Was she dancing with everyone?
For sure.
Like, you know, you draw these equations yourself in your brain to work out, like, realistically how on the straight and narrow her answer is.
Yeah. I think that's, like we said at the beginning, it really is up to the girl, and the onus is on you to figure out who she is and to be able to suss out what she says that's true and what she says that's bullshit and what she says that's massaged truth, right? Because nobody is entirely honest all the time.
No. And
even though I try to be as honest and open as possible most of the time, like, I'm not. Right? Like we all lie about things and we all massage the truth and give a lawyer answer where something is technically true by the words I said it, but I know that the impression I'm giving you is different from the actual reality. Yeah. Right?
And actually don't, if you're pretty sure that a girl's lying to you on the answer she gives and you're pretty sure like she's speaking in very, very half-truths, then don't see that also as a complete bad thing. It probably means she really likes you and she's trying to hide the fact of what she's really like because she sees you as a good potential partner or whatever. Don't think it's a bad thing, because a girl who doesn't see you as that will tell you, oh yeah, I just had sex last week, or I just I had 3 dates last week, or whatever. She just wants to fuck, right? So at least there's a way to fish out, like, okay, look, she might be lying, but
is she trying to impress me?
Is she trying to impress me?
Yeah, and ultimately that's one of the things that this comes down to is whenever you're trying to decide whether or not to answer something or whether or not to answer it truthfully, you need to already have these decisions made in your mind before you get to that point. Because if you're sitting there waffling in the moment, trying to decide, like, do I want to tell this girl the truth, or do I want to maybe massage the truth a little bit, or do I want to outright lie to her? How much do I want to impress her? How much am I embarrassed of my answers? Things like that. Then every millisecond that you take before answering one of these questions is going to seem more and more like a lie, right? Unless she asks you, like, how many girls have you slept with? And you're like, do you have a calculator? Right? Like, I need to do some math.
Yeah.
Then, you need to already decide before you go in, what are you embarrassed of? What are you not embarrassed of? And not necessarily proud, but just like, what are you willing to own and what are you not willing to own? Because that's going to be different for everybody, and that's going to be different in different circumstances. With this type of girl or that type of girl, you're going to need to, honestly, you're going to need to try and fail a few times to get your bullshit detector strong enough that you can suss out whether she's telling you the truth.
And also don't, as Jack said just now, he said don't waffle.
Yeah.
Don't keep going on, don't explain the reasons and everything. Just say the number and just look at her in the eyes. Just wait for her response. Wait to see how she reacts to it. And then you can move on from there. So she said, how long was your last relationship? You're like, oh, it was 2 months, it was great. Oh, what was your longest relationship?
Yeah.
2 years?
Yeah.
And then just, that's it. You don't have to say anything else. Like, oh, and she was really nice, and yeah, I thought it would be like, no. Just answer, and then pause, and be strong, congruent, see what her reaction is.
Or answer it immediately and then flip it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so, like, how many girls have you slept with?
Yeah.
54. You? And then if she says, like, 13, something like that, you say, you slept with 13 girls? Because what that does is that immediately draws, obviously that's
completely changes into the comedy and the
it changes the whole tenor of the conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes it less like
because
weighty and
right. Yeah. So immediately the first thing that she's gonna say is, in her head she's like, wait, 52, 13. That's so different. And then she realizes, oh, no, I haven't slept with 13 girls. No. I meant guys. And you're like, well, I haven't slept with 52 guys. Like, well, let's go ahead and get this straight right now, right? And then it takes it from like, let's have a serious talk that might break things down to like,
yeah.
Are we in middle school? Do we really have to like, do we have to ask how many people you've held hands with or whatever?
Yeah.
And again, this depends on the girl, because if this is a girl from Tinder who's asking you how many, you can just matter of fact, and then you can get off it and be like, yeah, what are we? Are we children, right? Like, do we really need to go through this?
Yeah.
Or if it's a serious girl, like if you met this girl at church or fucking kayaking club or whatever, and she's like a really nice, pristine girl, then she might want to actually talk through it a bit. And that's going to depend on you, your history, your personality, what you're willing to own up to and what you're not. And you're going to have to make those decisions. But most important, don't waffle.
Don't waffle, yeah.
Don't waffle.